What's up, guys? Here we're going to talk about the difference in claws and how to make a Frankenstein claw. For example, we got an M1, M3, and a goldenhouse claw. And the reason why we do this is because we want to upgrade our toys from this type to this type. I prefer to go bigger, fills it up better, and it's just overall better. So here we are. We got the whole claw family. We got the M3, the M1, another M3, and the goldenhouse. And I'm going to show you how we take the things off the M3 and put it onto the goldenhouse claw, which I will call it the Frankenstein. And like all claw machines uses a coil that uses, that's right, magnets. The magnets energizes and brings it up and tightens it. You can control the magnet setting on the coil to make it a little loose here and there, or ultimately you want it to give it the ultimate magnetic suck, and there we go. And that's what makes the claw grab it better. So here you can see me playing with it, showing the coil. Like I said, magnets, and each of these miniature claws uses some sort of similarity in the coil. So here you can see the Frankenstein claw I made with the body of the goldenhouse, and I will show you how I did this. And the reason being is because sometimes it doesn't come with the cat, and in this way you could still use the string and not have to fight it. So if you follow me on my other video with how to install the NIX, I have an Amazon kit. Within this kit comes with some Allen wrenches, and these Allen wrenches are perfect actually. So if you bought the kit, you should have it all. And in this video, you can see the Allen heads and the assembly. We need to loosen these guys up. There should be 3 sides. Just loosen them up and they should slide right down. And then on the M3, same thing, but they're smaller. So here, I'm going to show you. We're going to take apart the M3 claw so we can get the legs off. And like I said, we can just undo the screws. And mind you, they're not on too tightly, they're on just hand tight, so that's important to know when you install it again, because you don't want it to be too tight, you just want it to be nice and hand tight. So here you can see me loosening it up on one side, and then on the next. And on this one I'm just doing the bottom. Now that we got them all loosened, see how it slides right off? Perfect. Set that aside. Set that aside, and then now we go to the goldenhouse claw. So on this one, we're gonna have to loosen the bottom ring and the top ring. And you'll see why coming up. So with the slightly bigger Allen wrench, we'll loosen this guy up and slide this off. Now that we got that loose, we'll slide this off. Easy peasy. Now we don't need this anymore. We'll set that aside. As you can see, they are both similar in diameter. The body for the goldenhouse is going to be a little bit thinner but thicker in diameter. So now that we got that on, and if you want to be a perfectionist, you can take the other ring off and match it up. For me, it didn't bother me any. I was more worried about functionality of it. So here we're tightening it up just a little bit so that way I can get it set. Now for me, what I did was I eyeballed the way it looked. If you want to be precise, you can use a ruler or tape measure to measure the body of the M3, the distance to the bottom, so you could match up the similarities. But for me, what I did was I did everything by hand, so that way I could ensure that when the magnet was set to the strong setting, it was how I would prefer it to be. So you can see here, we got it too tight, or too high up, and we'll find that out here shortly. And as you can see, I'm loosening the top ring up so we can make it flush down to the, and as you can see, look, because I had it too high up, it's too high. The claws won't close properly. So back to loosening it down. Too loose, but so now we got it up to a certain height. Testing the claw closing. Too much, so go up a little bit higher. And that seems about good for me, right about there. So now that I got the height that I like that, I'm going to tighten one side up. I want to also mention that when tightening these up, the ring will not stay straight. So if there's a little bit of an angle to it, that's perfectly fine. The most important for me is once you tighten it up, that you don't want it to be too tight onto the base where the arms are, because I like the ability of it to swing around sometimes. And you'll see that coming up, how I would like for, as you can see, we got it pretty set there. So we're going to match up to the M3 claw. Pretty spot on. And then now we're just going to make sure everything looks fine. Doing some minor adjustments. That's what I was talking about, trying to make it more straight. It's almost impossible to do, but you could do your best. Having the slight little bit of an angle is okay. I think I found that perfect spot in my opinion, so now I'm going to tighten it all up. So yes, you can see you want it to spin like that. I prefer it to spin. That just ensures that there's no sticking parts. If you do it too tight, you may have some issues, but for me, my preference is the ability for it to kind of spin freely, and I would encourage that same ability as well. So we're tightening it up, doing some last minute adjustments. As you can see here, it doesn't spin, so I'm going to loosen it back up. And make sure that I give the ability for the claws to kind of just spin around the base of that. And then voila, perfect. So now I'm going to tighten it up. And there you go. If you follow these steps, you have just made a Frankenstein claw with me. Awesome. Alright, so now we got side by side. So we got the goldenhouse claw base with the M3 legs and the cap that comes with it. And then we have two options during install. We could either restring it to the actual Candy Machines M3 claw, or we could just replace the base assembly and leave the cap onto the goldenhouse claw. And the next videos I'm going to show you how I did the install on both versions on the goldenhouse machine. And as you can see here, we've got them to look almost identical. Got a nice little close on them, on both. And here we go. So here we are, we're on location. First thing I like to do, unlike the Candy machines, you can't really pull the claw down. So what I do is I give it some sample credits and then just move it a bit so that the claw drops, so I have access like that, and then I just kill the machine. And then we open it up, and then boom, there's the claw fully extended with enough room to play. And as you can see here, we have the original claw. So took the screws off, and there's the coil. It's a little different from the Candy Machines coil, but all in all, they are the same. It's just a bunch of copper doing more magnets on a inside cylinder that sucks it up. So here we are going to install the Frankenstein claw. There's the coil. A little different from Candy Machines, but like I said, still does the same. So here's the Frankenstein claw. We got it on now, and we got the coil inside. As you can see, fits in there. Alright, so now that we got that coil in there, into the Frankenstein claw, put the cap on, got all three screws. Next step is to power it back on. Watch it retract up. Awesome. And then what we do is we do a quick bonus play. So I'm going to feed it some credits. And then we'll check it out, see how it works. Bam. Works perfectly fine. Alright, next up, we're going to add the regular M3 claw to another goldenhouse. So as you can see here, we have some small prizes, and we're going to change that so that way we could accommodate for the bigger prizes. So doing a quick snapshot of the prizes inside. Believe it or not, 50 prizes has been won. Not liking the way the playfield looks, so let's go ahead and change it. So as you can see here, I did the bonus plays again, and then I did the power off. And then this machine, what we're going to do is we're going to take the cap off, and we're going to undo the knots in this, and then we're going to add it to the cap onto the M3 claw, as you can see here. So we're going to take the cap off of this, feed the string from that onto this, and should be a fairly simple process. So now we got it unscrewed. Let's take the cap off, and there's that coil again. Slide the coil out, and what I do is I kind of just leave it hanging down. Set that aside, we don't need that anymore. And then here, the cap with that knot. So you can either cut it or unknot it. What I did was I just kind of unknot it. Fairly simple. Just two simple knots. So now that I got it knotted, I take the cap off. M3 claw. I'm going to take the cap off this guy, feed it through, and knot it up. So now that I got that knotted, perfect. We're going to take the M3 claw. We're going to feed the coil into it, as you can see here. Same exact way. And then we're going to attach the cap. So now that we got it all installed, there you go. We got the M3 claw from Candy Machines onto a Golden House from AZ Amusements. I just put the cap back on to the Golden House's claw, and here we go. We're going to do a little test play. So far so good. Did a little emptying out. Now I've restocked it with bigger stuff, and we are good to go. Hopefully this video helped out a lot of people. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, check in for my channel. I got more stuff coming up, more repairs,